What is up, YouTube? Contrary to how good the thumbnail is, I have to start this video by saying I am not a doctor, okay? Even though the thumbnail probably makes it seem like I am. I'm not. But what I will say is, when it comes to supplements and stuff like that, I have some older videos going over supplements. I used to work at 2 different supplement stores. Sold supplements, learned a lot about them. At my current job at the gym, which I actually just got back from. I know this is different. I'm actually sitting in my driveway right now, not at the gym like I normally am. But I had to get a certification for the supplements we sell at the gym, which is basically everything I'm going to go over today. And again, this is a Supplementation 101. These are basics. These are not like super in-depth, okay? But for someone who's wanting to get into the gym, this gives you a good idea of what supplements you should maybe start looking at first, and just like a general idea of what they do for you. So the first one, which is like the biggest one, protein. Protein powders. There's whey, there's casein, there's isolate, there's concentrate, there's plant-based. They're all different. They basically all kind of do the same thing. The biggest difference is plant-based is obviously like soy. It's not from whey, which is dairy. But the 2 biggest differences in the whey proteins are the normal whey and then the casein. The casein takes a little bit longer to break down in your body, so it's normally like used for sleep at night, so your body can kind of use that protein for longer. But anyway, so protein, what do you use it for? Why do you need it? 2 big things. 1, it's an easy way to get 25 grams of protein. Okay, it's in a powder. You can just mix that bad boy up in a shaker, drink it, boom, 25 grams of protein. It's easy to mix into things, like if you like to make shakes or you want to make pancakes or muffins or anything along those lines and you want to add more protein to it, boom, protein powder. So that's 1. It's just an easy way to get protein in. Why do you want protein? Protein helps you build muscle, right? Now, you don't have to use it. You could just eat your protein in meat, okay? No problem with that. But it is nice. It's convenient. It's just an easy way to help you get that protein in, right? Secondly is creatine. Now, creatine is one of the most researched supplements that we have. And I will say, I have been watching some studies that have recently been done over creatine. Take this how you want. I would definitely go look at the research yourself before you make a plan on what you want to do. But there's been a lot of new research studies that have come out that say taking more creatine than the 5 grams that they say is actually good for brain function. So most of the research for creatine has been all about muscles, how it helps you with lean muscle mass, how it helps you with endurance for your workouts. So basically, like, let's say you've been taking creatine for a week. Last week you did 255 for 4. Well, this week you might be able to do 255 for 5 or 6. And the next week, 255 for 7 or 8. It basically just helps you squeeze out those last couple reps, right? It's really good for endurance. And so that's the main focus of creatine. But there's been new studies that show that creatine actually gets made in the brain as well, which can help with like brain function. Now, it's so hard to get creatine from food. You would have to eat like 3 pounds of chicken, and I want to say it's like 2.5 pounds of like beef in a day to get the amount of creatine you need to make 5 grams. It's just easier to take powder, boom, you're done. You can take it whenever you want, just make sure you're taking it every day. Easy. Creatine is pretty much a non-negotiable. You need to be taking it. Also, there's some cool research about vegans, people that don't eat meat, actually might need more creatine than the 5 grams because they're not getting any creatine at all because they don't eat meat. Oh, excuse me. They don't eat meat, so they're not getting creatine at all, except for the little amount that their body makes. So look into that too. If you don't eat meat, shout out to my cousin Brandon. That's really one for him, but for anyone else who doesn't really eat meat, that's creatine. Basically a non-negotiable. Creatine you should be taking. The next one, BCAAs, which are branched chain amino acids. And these BCAAs have EAAs in them, which are essential amino acids. And essentially what those are for is they help with recovery during your workout, right? They help your muscles, so while you're working out, the moment you get done, it's going to help you recover faster. That's like a basic general idea of what they're used for. They're really good. Again, you could get these from eating a nutritious, balanced diet, but 99.9% of people are not eating what they need to be eating to be able to do that. Just get the supplement, use it. You're done. Another really good BCAA, or like another supplement, is glutamine. Glutamine is really, really good for recovery. Now, you can get glutamine from eggs, but the amount of eggs you would have to eat, I don't remember exactly how many it is, but the amount of eggs you'd have to eat to get the amount of glutamine you need for it to actually work the way that you are wanting it to can be difficult. Not that it can't be done, but that'd be a lot of eggs. And I don't know how many eggs you're going to be able to fit into your diet to be able to get that. Now, if you're already eating eggs, maybe you look into how much glutamine you need to take in and how many eggs you're eating, and then maybe just take the rest in like a glutamine supplement. But glutamine's a really good one. Not a must-have, but it is a good one. I know I say these videos aren't scripted, but I just have a list of what I wanted to talk about, so I didn't forget any. Still off the dome, though. Next is omega-3s, which are your fatty acids. So if you eat a shit ton of fish, maybe you don't need to take this, but how many people are eating, you know, a large amount of fish every single day? Probably not a lot of us, right? I live in Oklahoma. I don't trust fucking fish anywhere around here. Now, when I lived in Alabama, we're close to the ocean. It's a different story. We're like 14 hours away from the ocean. I don't trust that shit. So unless it's caught in like a river or like something like that, I ain't eating it. So omega-3 fatty acids. Imagine when you have like a mechanical part, or you have something on your car that's squeaky, or anything that you would put like WD-40 in, or like grease, right? It makes it move easier. Omega-3s work the same way, except it's for like your joints and ligaments. And so like as you're working out, as you're constantly like adding stress to those joints and ligaments, omega-3s and fatty acids basically grease up those joints and ligaments so that they can handle that better, essentially making it to where they work better. You know, they're smoother. Some people will say that it helps like with injury prevention, and it can. Like if you're not using omega-3s, you could be more than likely to be injured, but it's not like something that's like, hey, I'm taking omega-3s, I'll never be injured, right? But it definitely helps. It definitely makes a difference. The next one is vitamins and minerals. So I'm not going to go into detail with every single vitamin you should take. Maybe if you guys want, I could do like a part 2 where I kind of go more in depth on each one with like maybe a little more like educational, knowledgeable video, because I can definitely do that. But vitamins, essentially what they're used for is they help with like energy release, immunity, like your immune system, and then energy, your immune system, right? Most vitamins, like, you know, you want to get vitamin C, you want to get vitamin D, like a lot of that stuff helps with your immunity. Like if you ever taken the emergency like packs that help like whenever you're sick, it's vitamin C, right? And then minerals. So minerals are, what is that noise? I swear it sounds like somebody's like walking behind me because the leaves are moving. It must be like a squirrel or something. Anyway, so minerals, they're not as much on the energy side of things, but they are important. They're more for like your bone health and like your fluid balance, like in your body, like your water and stuff like that. So they are both very important, but they're slightly different on what they help you with. And then the very last one, which for me is a non-negotiable, but you don't have to necessarily do it, is pre-workout. Now, if I do a second video that is more detailed, I can break down pre-workout a lot more, because there's a lot that goes into pre-workout, honestly. Like, when it comes to pre-workout, there are so many different ingredients that a pre-workout can have, and some of it is complete bullshit. Some of it is really good, and then some of it is only good if you enjoy the experience that it gives you. So like beta alanine, for example, it helps with recovery, right? That's what gives you that like itchy feeling. Some people don't like it. I love it. So like when I think of pre-workout, it's got to have beta. And then there's caffeine. I like to have a large amount of caffeine, 400 milligrams or more, right? Now, someone else might not want that much caffeine. And then there's stuff like huperzine, and there's all different stuff that's like nootropics, which is good for like brain function and focus. Then there's stuff to help with a pump, to get better pump when you're in the gym, get better muscle contraction, get better blood flow. So there's all different types of ingredients for pre-workout. And then there's all different types of pre-workouts for other things. Like, let's say, hey, I'm a runner. I don't need caffeine. It's going to make my heart rate go up too fast. Cool. There's pre-workout without caffeine that still has other stuff in it that it's good for the endurance purposes, the recovery purposes, the focusing purposes, right? And so there's just so many different ingredient profiles that you can get that are going to help you with what type of workouts you're doing and what you're trying to get from it. Like there's stuff like DMHA and DMAE, which are, they're banned by the FDA for some kind of ridiculous reasons, but pre-workout, that's a whole nother topic. Supplements and the FDA is like a really weird spot because the FDA might not approve the supplement, but they're not going to come into the supplement store and say, hey, Total Nutrition, I see that you have this, and this product, and they're not FDA approved. You got to get them out of the shelf. Like, they're not going to do that. So there's a lot of things that aren't FDA approved that still get sold at supplement stores. And just because they aren't FDA approved doesn't mean they're not researched. So a completely different topic. I could rant about that all day, but DMHA and DMA are not FDA approved for some ridiculous reasons, but I love them in a pre-workout. They make me feel like the damn Hulk when I walk into the gym. Other people hate it. They cannot stand it. It makes them feel sick. They don't want a pre-workout with that in it. So that's what I mean by like the profile of a pre-workout matters so much by what you like, what you don't like, what type of workouts you're doing. And so I could definitely make a video talking more about that. But when it comes to pre-workout, the best advice I can give is try to find a flavor that you like because you're going to be taking it for a month. Some of the flavors are great. Some of the flavors are straight up ass. Now, I dry scoop my pre-workout, so I don't really taste it but for like 5 seconds. So the flavor, it's like, I'd love to have a great flavor, but if the flavor's ass, I only taste it for like 10 seconds. So, but try to find something that tastes good. And then try to go for something basic at first. Don't try to go for some crazy ass pre-workout that's got a bunch of shit in it. Try to go something that's basic, something that's simple, doesn't have a ton of stuff, but has like the main ingredients like citrulline malate, beta-alanine, caffeine, stuff like that. And then you can do your own research on the side about all the other ingredients. And then you can kind of start looking at the back of it before you buy it. Same thing with protein. All protein is not created equal. Some protein will be 25 grams of protein for 120 calories. Some proteins will be 25 grams of protein for 180 calories because they put a shit ton of sugar in it. So just look at the back. Make sure that when you get a protein, you go, hey, this is 125 calories, 150 calories for 25 grams of protein. This is good. It's got a bunch of sugar in it. And then I would also recommend start with a small tub of protein. Because if you get a flavor and it sucks, you're going to be stuck with that flavor until it's gone, unless you just want to waste money, right? So I would get a small tub, go with some basic flavors first. And then if you are going to try a new one, because they've got, the amount of protein flavors they have nowadays is just crazy. They got all kinds of different stuff. There should be no reason why you can't find a protein flavor that you like. There's just way too many of them out there. But yeah, just try to make sure that, it makes sense. It's 25 grams of protein, decently good on calories, and it's not like 220 calories for 25 grams of protein because they put like 25 grams of fucking sugar in there. But yeah, this is kind of like a basic, I'm going to the gym. What are the things I should be looking at first? Now, there's other supplements you can look at. There's, if you have specific deficiencies, like there's calcium supplements, if you don't get enough calcium from dairy, like there are very niche specific things that you can look out for. But again, this is just like a supplementation 101, very basic. Like, hey, these are the things where when I was working at the supplement store, or if you were one of my clients and you were like, hey, Mason, I'm doing my nutrition. I'm going to the gym. What supplements would you recommend for someone starting out? these are the ones. Now, obviously, there's so many vitamins and minerals. I didn't touch on that a bunch, but like, these are the supplements I would look at first. Like, these are going to be your building blocks. And then once you kind of start taking these, you start to realize like, hey, while I'm eating my food, I realize I'm not getting enough of this vitamin, or I'm not getting enough of this BCA or this EEA. Then you can kind of start getting your specific things for you specifically. But other than that, yeah, remember, I know the thumbnail's great, but I'm not a doctor, but I am certified in talking about supplements. So anyways, if you guys want a part 2, it's a little more detailed, let me know in the comments below. And then if you have any video, if you have any other video ideas, let me know. And then lastly, what is your favorite flavor of protein? I have one, it's a blueberry muffin, and it is bussin', okay? It's super good. I put like some non-fat plain Greek yogurt and like some blueberries, and then I mix in my protein powder, which is blueberry muffin, and some peanut butter powder, mix it into a bowl, let it get all nice and cold. It's like eating blueberry ice cream. It's so good. But anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great start to your week, and I'll catch you in the next one.